Office of RNI came into being in 1956. It is mandatory for all newspapers and magazines to get them registered with RNI. Its head office is in New Delhi. Press Information Bureau (PIB). It is the nodal agency of the Government of India to disseminate information to the print and electronic media on government policies, program initiatives, and achievements. It has its headquarters in New Delhi and has 8 regional offices. So, activities of PIB can be classified into 3 categories, such as information, education, and communication, abbreviated as IEC, and mean publicity. Apart from this, feedback, accreditation, etc., are the other services dealt by PIB. The National Media Center is located in New Delhi. PIB also has 7 sister websites in 7 different languages, such as Tamil, Malayalam, Kannada, Telugu, Bengali, Marathi, and Mizo. Public information campaigns (PICs). PICs are held to disseminate information directly to the target beneficiaries on the flagship programs of the Union government. Main news agencies in India. Questions have been asked earlier about the news agencies in UGC Paper 1 pattern. So, Press Trust of India (PTI). Press Trust of India was founded in 1947 and started its services in 1949. PTI is a non-profit sharing cooperative owned by the country's newspapers with a mandate to provide efficient and unbiased news to all the subscribers. And United News of India (UNI). UNI was incorporated in 1959 and started its functioning in 1961. It started its first news agency in India, a full-fledged Hindi service called Univarta, in 1982, and also started the first ever service in Urdu. UNI distributes world news from Reuters, the world's largest information company. Press Council of India (PCI). PCI is a quasi-judicial authority mandated by the Parliament to preserve the freedom of press and maintain and improve the standard of newspapers and news agencies in India. PCI Act 1978 provides for the reconstitution of the council in every 3 years. NAM News Network (NNN). NNN is the internet-based news and photograph exchange arrangement of news agencies of non-aligned movement countries. Basic computer terms. A computer is a programmable machine. It allows the user to store all sorts of information and then process that information or data, or carry out actions with the information, such as calculating numbers or organizing words. A computer can be defined as an electronic device that is capable of accepting, storing, and logically manipulating data or text, that is input, and processing and producing output, results, or decisions on the basis of stored programs of instructions. Some computers are also capable of processing graphics, video, and voice input. Most computers include a keyboard for text entry, a central processing unit or CPU, one or more disk drivers, a display screen, and a printer, where these components are referred to as the hardware. And types of computers. A computer are classified according to generation, functionality, and size. According to generation refers to the time period during which the computer has been developed. The different generations of computer are as follows. First generation, 1940 to 1956, used vacuum tubes for circuitry and magnetic drums for memory. High electricity consumption. Then programming in machine language. Mark I ENIAC. Second generation, 1956 to 1963, transistors were used. First operating system and core memory were developed. Programming was in machine language and assembly language. Magnetic tapes and disks were used. Example, early versions of COBOL and Fortran. IBM 14.0.01, IBM 14.02, PDP-1, etc. Third generation features. Targeted circuits developed, low power consumption. Then small scale integration (SSI) and medium scale technology was used. high-level languages were used, HLL. The main examples are PDP-8, ICL 2900, IBM 360, and IBM 370. Fourth edition, 1972, 71 to present. Large-scale integration, LSI, and very large-scale integration, VLSI technology is used. Development of portable computers, use of RAID, that means redundant array of inexpensive disks. Technology for data storage, used in virtual reality, multimedia, and stimulation. Computers started in use for data communication. Examples: IBM PC, Apple. Then fifth generation, present and beyond. These computers are used in parallel processing, speech recognition, intelligent robots, and artificial intelligence. According to function, the computers are of the following types according to function. There are three different types of computers according to the principles of operation, and they are as follows: analog computers, analog digital computers, and analog computers, digital computers, and hybrid computers. Analog, digital, and hybrid. Analog computers are that in which data varies continuously. Data varies continuously. The movement of data is continuous. It is generally meant to measure the physical variables such as voltage, pressure, temperature, speed, and so on. It is mainly used for communication and broadcast transmission. Then digital computers. Digital computers are those computers in which data flow in a discrete form. These are high-speed programmable electronic devices that perform mathematical calculations, compare values, and store the results. It uses binary number system in which there are only two digits, 0 and 1, each one called a bit. The digital computer is designed using digital circuits in which there are two levels for an input or output signal. These two levels are known as logic 0 and logic 1. Digital computers provide more accurate and faster results. Digital computer is better suited for solving complex problems in science, engineering, and technology. Hence, they are increasingly used in the field of design, research, and data processing. Based on the purpose, digital computers can be further classified as follows: general purpose computers, special purpose computers. General purpose computers are used for any type of applications. Most of the computers are general purpose computers. Special purpose computer is one that is built for a specific application. Then hybrid computers. The hybrid computer combine the desirable features of analog and digital computer. They combine the speed of analog computers and accuracy of digital computers. Now, analog to digital and digital to analog converters are used for transforming data into suitable form for either type of computation. For example, in a hospital's intensive care unit or ICU, analog device might measure a patient's temperature and blood pressure. These analog measurements may then be converted into numbers and supplied to digital components in the system for better monitoring. Hybrid computers are mainly used for specialized tasks. According to size and configuration, there are 4 different types of computers that are classified based on their size and configuration: supercomputers, mainframe computers, mini computers, microcomputers. So digital computers are of 4 types: supercomputers, mainframe computers, mini computers, supercomputers, mainframe computers, mini computers, and microcomputers. So supercomputers, they are mostly used for applications that require intensive numerical computation, such as stock analysis, weather forecasting, nuclear energy research, electronic design, and for analyzing geological data. They can process billions of instructions per second. The best known supercomputer manufacturer is Cray Research. Some of the companies that produce supercomputers are Cray, IBM, HP, and so on. SuperAtom is India's first supercomputer. Tara's EKA is also an example of supercomputer. Then mainframe computers. Mainframe computers can also process data at very high speed. in million instructions per second, shortly termed as MIMS. So mainframe computers are large-sized, powerful multi-user computers that can support concurrent programs. They can accommodate more than 1,000 workstations simultaneously. Normally, they are used in banking, airlines, railways, and so on for their applications. This technique that allows many people at the terminals to access the same computer concurrently is called time sharing. Then mini computers. Mini computers have lesser speed and storage capacity in comparison to mainframe computers. Hence, their performance is also less than that of mainframes. They are mid-sized multi-processing computers. They can perform several actions at the same time and can support 4 to 200 users simultaneously. Some of the features of mainframes are not available in mini computers. In recent years, the distinction between mini computers and small mainframes has blurred. Often the distinction depends upon how the manufacturer wants to make his machines. And workstations are powerful single-user computers. They have a capacity to store and process large quantities of data, but they can only be used by one person at a time. They are typically linked together to form a computer network called a local area network or LAN, which means that several people, such as staff in an office, can communicate with each other and share electronic files and data. In terms of computing power, workstations lie in between personal computers and mini computers. Workstations commonly support applications that require relatively high quality graphical capabilities and a lot of memory, such as desktop publishing, software development, and engineering applications. The workstation is similar to a personal computer but is more powerful and often comes with higher quality monitoring. Then microcomputers. A microcomputer is also called a personal computer, a PC. It is a small and relatively inexpensive computer where it commonly consists of a display screen, a keyboard, a CPU, a central processing unit, one or more disk drives, and a printer with limited storage based upon a microprocessor. It is designed for an individual user. The invention of microprocessor, single chip CPU, gave birth to the much cheaper microcomputers. They are further classified into following processor: desktop, laptop, handheld computers or PDAs. Computer hardware. Just the physical equipment which is required to create, use, manipulate, and store electronic data. The hardware of a computer system can be classified into CPU and peripherals. So, central processing unit. Central processing unit (CPU) is a microprocessor that controls the execution of program instructions. Microprocessors is programmable while integrated circuits (ICs) perform predetermined tasks only. The CPU performs the following functions: arithmetic operations, logical operations, input-output operations, data manipulations. The main CPU components to carry out the functions as mentioned earlier. The CPU has the following components like arithmetic logic unit or ALU. It performs various calculations such as addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, comparison, and so on. And control unit or CU. It coordinates the operation of hardware, the flow and execution of data and instructions that are fed into memory or main storage through CPU. And memory unit, main storage. It holds data, instructions, intermediate results, and final results that are ready for output. The data and instructions are passed from the main store into ALU or to and from the storage device under the control of CU. Now computers hold megabytes or even gigabytes of data. A megabyte is a unit of 1 million bytes. A gigabyte is 1 billion bytes and a tetrabyte is 1 trillion bytes. If a computer has a memory of 64 megabytes, then it can hold 64 million bytes of information. Set of registers within a CPU. There are a number of high-speed special purpose memory units called the registers. These registers carry out critical functions in the execution of programs. They are used for storing small information. Then motherboard. A computer's main circuit board contains the CPU, the memory and expansion slots for additional circuit boards known as adapters or cards. Then buses. It is a set of parallel wires for connecting the CPU of a computer to all other input devices. The data can be transmitted in two directions, from and to the CPU. Then peripheral devices. A peripheral device is any device that can be connected to a computer. This term includes monitors, keyboards, mouse, webcams, drawing pads, joysticks, modems, printers, scanners, interactive whiteboards, drive wheel, and so on. Central processing unit is a microprocessor that controls the execution of program instructions. Microprocessor is programmable while integrated circuits ICs perform predetermined tasks only. Arithmetic operations. The CPU performs the following functions: arithmetic operations, logical, input, output, data manipulations. We just learned this. Then arithmetic logic unit, ALU. Central processing unit, input unit, arithmetic logic unit, control unit, main memory, output unit, most probably main memory. Main memory. Secondary storage, main CPU components. Then peripheral devices. A peripheral device is any device that can be connected to a computer. This term include monitors, keyboards, mouse, webcam, joystick we just mentioned, and input devices. Any device that is capable of inputting information into a computer system, for example, keyboard, microphone, mouse, scanner, webcam, and so on, are known as input devices. Output devices. The output devices are basically meant for anything that comes out of a computer after being processed. It includes the monitor, headphone, printers, speakers, plotters, and VDUs, visual display units. Then storage devices. Computer data storage, often known as memory, refers to the computer components and recording media which contains the digital data. Memory refers to the temporary internal storage areas within a computer. The term memory is usually used as a shorthand for physical memory, and it refers to the actual chips capable of holding data. Some computers also use virtual memory, which expands physical memory into a hard drive. Then memory is the part of a computer which stores information. Then first type, random access memory, RAM. It is also termed as the main memory. It is the temporary memory volatile that allows information to be stored randomly and accessed quickly and directly without the need to go through intervening data. A computer can both write data into RAM and read data from RAM. Every time a user turns on his or her computer, a set of operating instructions is copied from the hard disk into RAM. These instructions, which help control the basic computer functions, remain in RAM until the computer is turned off. As soon as the power is turned off, then whatever data present in the RAM disappears. Read-only memory, ROM. This is the permanent memory of a computer. A set of instructions has been built into computer by the manufacturer, and it cannot be accessed or changed by the user. It only permits the user to read data. Computers always contain a small amount of ROM that holds instructions for starting up the computer. Then programmable read-only memory, PROM. A PROM is a memory chip in which you can store a program. Once the PROM has been used, you can not wipe it clean and use it to store something else. Like ROMs, PROMs are non-volatile. Then erasable programmable read-only memory, EPROM. And EPROM is a special type of PROM that can be erased by exposing it to ultraviolet light. Then electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, EEPROM. And EEPROM is a special type of PROM that can be erased by exposing it to an electrical charge. It is also termed as flash memory. Memory is also classified as primary storage and secondary storage. Primary storage, it consists of RAM and ROM. In primary memory, The data is not stored permanently, but it is stored temporarily. After accessing the information, the data is erased from the memory of computer. Such types of data are considered as short-term memory. Then secondary storage, it is also termed as auxiliary storage. The secondary memory storage is the slowest and the cheapest form of memory. It cannot be processed directly by the CPU and it must be copied first into primary storage, RAM. The main secondary memory devices are magnetic disks such as hard drives and floppy disks, optical disks, along with such other types like CDs and CD-ROMs and magnetic tapes. They were actually the first forms of secondary memory in computer disk storage. Any sector is a subdivision of a track on a magnetic disk or optical disk. Each sector stores a fixed amount of user accessible data. Traditionally, it consists of 512 bytes for hard drives and 2048 bytes for CD-ROMs and DVD-ROMs. The storage devices can be divided into two categories and they are listed as follows. Internal. They reside within a computer. Hard disk is an example of a magnetic disk in which the computer data can be stored. They usually hold more data and are conventionally faster. Then external, they are portable and are usually used as removable storage devices. USB flash drive, commonly termed as pen drive, CD, digital video disc like DVD, Blu-ray disc are certain examples. USB flash drives look like a small flat pen. They may have large storage capacity and they can be plugged into any computer with a USB socket. Flash drives are also commonly referred to as pen drives or memory sticks. Computer software. Software is a set of programs, procedures, algorithms, and associated documents that provide instructions to computer by ordering what to do, when to do, and how to do. It can also be defined as computerized instructions that operate a computer, manipulate the data, and execute particular functions or tasks. When software is stored in hardware that cannot be easily modified, such as BIOS, ROM in PC, and then it is called firmware to indicate that it falls into an area somewhere between the software and the hardware. Then system software. System software provides the basic functions for computer usage and helps to run the computer hardware and system. It includes a combination of devices, drives, and operating systems, servers, utilities, and Windows systems. It manages the hardware devices. It also responsible for resource allocation. The operating system and utility software are the two major categories of system software. Types of system software. Compilers, it converts the source code written in programming language into another computer language called object code. The examples are ALGOL compilers, basic compilers, C++ compilers, and Fortran compilers. So operating systems, OS, an operating system controls all other resources of a computer system. It can be 16-bit, 32-bit, or 64-bit. The main categories of operating system are as follows. UNIX BSD. UNIX system V, AIX, HPUX, Solas, IRIX, BSD, distros. GNU Linux, Google Chrome OS, Windows 2000, XP, Vista 7C, Mac OS X, enabled, embedded and real-time OS, experimental, Oberon, Blue Bottle, Amoeba, Plan 9, Bell Labs. Windows was developed in 1985 as an add-on to MS-DOS in response to the growing interest in graphical user interfaces, GUIs. Mac OS was the previous operating system that used a GUI. The most recent client version of Windows after Vista is Windows 8. Linux was developed by Linus Torvalds. It is a freely available multitasking and multi-user operating system. Since the very beginning, Linux was placed under General Public License, GPL. Utility software. It is a system software designed to help analyze, monitor, configure, and optimize the settings and maintain the computer. Skins that customize the media players, looks, and DVD burners are examples of utility software. Some of the utility software which is frequently used is classified as follows. Antivirus software. Antivirus is a protective software designed to defend your computer against malicious software, malware. So desktop widgets, interactive virtual tools that provide single purpose vehicles showing the latest news, time calendar, dictionary map, calculator, and so on. Then backup software. The backup software are backup files, cleaning up hard disk and shredding files. Examples are Windows backup and Restore Center, a net backup made by Symantec. Then application software. It helps the user to perform singular or multiple related tasks. It can be further classified into productivity software, word processors, spreadsheets, schedulers, DBMS, desktop publishing, ERP, Mozilla Firefox, or collaborative software, also referred to as groupware. Examples include Facebook application, Etherpad. Software can either be proprietary, also called closed or open. Proprietary software is primarily privately owned and controlled. Softwares of such software are not merged in order to prevent other companies from duplicating it. The user usually prefer using open software which is publicly accessible. Anyone can create add-on products for it because they can understand how it was designed. Freeware is the software that can be copied and used without payment to the authors, although there may be some restrictions on distribution. Then programming languages, there are the rules, conventions, and specific commands that can be used to write a computer program. Most programs must be converted into machine language or binary code so that the instructions can be performed on a specific computer platform. Then machine language is the only language understood by a computer. Each statement in a machine language program is a sequence of bits. Each bit may be set to 0 or 1. The sets of bits represent instructions that a computer can understand. While easily understood by computers, machine languages are the most difficult for humans to put into use. It is entirely complied by binary numbers. Programmers use a higher level programming language or an assembly language. Machine language is also known as first generation language. An assembly language is also known as a second generation language. It contains the same instructions as a machine language, but the instructions are variable, have names instead of being just numbers. The advantage of assembly language is that its instructions are readable. For example, assembly language statements like move and add are more recognizable than sequences of zeros and ones. Then high level language, HLL. High level language are what most programmers use. Languages such as C++ and Java are all HLLs. One advantage of HLLs is that they are very readable. The statements in these languages are in English. Programs written in HLLs are translated into assembly languages or machine languages by a compiler. So assembly language programs are translated into machine language by a program called an assembler. Every CPU has its own unique machine language. Programs must be rewritten or recompiled to run on different types of computers. A program is a set of instructions for performing a particular task. These instructions are just like English words. The computer interprets the instructions as ones and zeros. The program can be written in assembly language as well as in HLL. This written program is called the source program. The source program is to be converted into machine language, which is called an object program. A translator is required for such translations. Then language processors, assembler. This language processor converts the program written in assembly language into machine language. Then interpreter. This language processor converts HLL program into machine language by converting it line by line. If there is any error in any line, then it reports it at the same time and program execution cannot resume until the error is rectified. Then compiler, it also converts the HLL program into machine language. It converts the entire HLL program in one go and reports all the errors of the program along with the line numbers. After all the errors are removed, the program is completed, and after that the compiler is not needed in the memory as the object program is available. How does a computer progress information? When data is entered into a computer, the numbers or words we understand are translated into a binary number system. Binary language is the language of computers. Everything you type, input, output, send, receive, draw, and so on In the end, is converted to the computer's native language, that is binary language. Then binary number system. Formally, we all know that base 10 system is a positional system. In a decimal notation, we write a number as a string of symbols. This topic will be dealt with the help of next video. Thank you for listening.